What is up, peeps? Welcome to episode 15. Before we start, we have a special message. Breaking news about 40 minutes ago. Gabe Kapler, Tan Dick, got fired. So he sent us a message when we hit 20,000 followers. So we just thought it was appropriate to play it right now. And that's what we're going to kick the show off with.
What's up, Drunk Phil's fans on Facebook? Miss you guys so much now that I'm out west kicking ass. Hey, it's me, it's Gabe Kapler, a.k.a. Tan Dick, a.k.a. Coconut Boy. Love it. Hey, congrats on reaching the milestone of 20,000 followers. So cool. It's awesome. The Phils will be lucky to draw that much in a homestand in the middle of the pennant race. But all my best to you guys, Drunk Phil's fans on Facebook, one of my favorite groups. Hey, listen, man, time to celebrate. Draw a bat, light a scented candle, maybe crank up that curveball machine, break out the coconut oil, and have at it, man.
So that was actually Joe Conklin that did that for us, and it was like so nice of him to, Chris has a connection to get to Conklin. And before we start, let me just put up our normal DPF on tap on the back here. Chris or John, could you switch it over? I didn't want to show. This is like one of my signed pieces from Gabe. It actually says, Chris applied the coconut oil in a circular motion. Best Gabe. I ain't got to do that no more. Gabe got fired, and we're gonna have a little bit of a party here. So hold on a second. Let me stand up. Yeah, buddy. No drawers tonight. No more Gabe drawers. You know what? It's done. We're going to hang these somewhere in the garage forever. Yo, listen. What about today? Let me get Gabe off here, and so we can, everyone isn't distracted. I'm going to put up our normal picture of the DPF on tap. Yeah, there we go. So that's much better. Wow, how about what's happening today? Gabe Kapler gets fired 30 minutes before we're going on. I'm looking at TikTok and YouTube and Instagram all day because, man, I love seeing the fucking New York assholes, the Mets fans, have flooding. The fucking subways are a disaster. It's fucking amazing. I'm fucking loving life. Gabe Kapler, the New York subways and the Mets and Queens, even though the Phillies game got canceled, absolutely loving that. And then the next thing is fucking Tupac's murderers found. Jesus Christ, how fucking awesome is this? Yeah, Tupac's murderers found. I'm gonna pour some out for him right here at the garage. I'm only kidding. I ain't pouring shit out.
We don't waste beer.
I will never waste anything like that. So what we're going to talk about today is getting back into it. Dugan's going to give us a recap of the Pirates and the Mets series. Maybe we'll look ahead to the Mets. I don't know what that is. We don't give a shit. We're going to do DPF awards for the Phils. So this is the three of us made up whatever we wanted to make up. Awards for the current team. We'll then look at the playoff picture. Then we're just going to answer some comments, questions, and then just kind of have a conversation about the upcoming playoffs. We are going to have a special show on Monday, which is going to be more of our playoff preview, but I'm excited, and I think all of us want to talk about it today. So, Dugan, kick us off. What do you got for, what just happened?
Yeah, well, Chris, you're normally the singer of the group, but I'm gonna break out a little song today.
Oh,
meet the Mets, step right up and beat the Mets, and that's what the fucking Phillies just did. Phillies sweep the Mets in a 4-game series at home. I don't know if we could have had more fun in those 4 days. Beating the Mets is the best thing that happens all season. But game one, the Phils took game one 5-4. With Ranger getting the start, and Ranger not a great outing, 6 2/3, 4 earned runs, kind of typical for the way he's been pitching of late. I'd like to see him pitch a little better, especially heading into the playoffs. But Kimbrel, he continues to be a little bit of a thorn in our side. He didn't blow that game, but he did give up 2 hits and kind of made it a little nerve-wracking there in the 8th inning. But it looks like the Phillies have really turned to Alvarado as their closer right now, and he came in and got the save. And in that game, Castellanos had a huge day with 4 RBIs and a home run. So it was a nice 5-4 win to open that series. Then we move into game 2, which I have dubbed the Fuck Scott Rowland game because that was Scott Rowland night. And the Phils also won that game 5-4. In that game, Taijuan Walker pitched pretty well. 6 innings in that game, 2 earned runs. But then we got to watch the bullpen implode, and we had Soto give up a home run to Lindor in the 8th, and then Kimbrel gave up the home run to Batty in the 9th. So the Phillies had to win that game in extra innings. On offense, it was Realmuto with a big 3-run homer. It was nice to see JT finally do something at home. Hopefully he's going to start heating up, especially with the first round of the playoffs being here at CBP. We're going to need him to start hitting. And my guy Bohm with an RBI single in the 10th that won that game in walk-off fashion. Game 3, which I've dubbed the DPF Garage Party Day because that's when we had our watch party at the garage, and what a great time it was. And it was awesome getting to meet the winners and everybody and really have a fun day. And not only that, it might be the first watch party that we've had where the Phillies actually won the game. So
that's important. We were talking about that. It's like the kiss of death.
But so it was great. The garage was packed. Everybody was yelling, chanting. A lot of fuck the Mets going on that day. But in that game, Wheeler was dominant. He was charged with 5 runs, 3 earned, but it was really the defense's fault. In the first inning, Turner kicked one that cost them 2 runs, so they were both unearned. But then later in the game, the 6th or 7th inning, Rojas misplayed one that ended up costing the Phillies 3 runs. So we were getting charged with 3 earned runs, but he probably shouldn't have given up any in that game. He was dominant. Harper had a nice day with a home run and 3 RBIs, and Bohm also contributed with a home run in that game in the 7-5 win. Then game 4 with the sweep, Christopher Sanchez again. Awesome. 7 innings, 2 earned runs, 10 Ks, looked great. Casty had a homer, 2 RBIs. JT drove in 2. And we got to see Orion Kirkring make his major league debut. And that kid was electric. That's John's boy. I could see him pumping his fist over there. Kid was electric. I mean, that slider, sweeper, whatever you want to call it, that thing moves. It just disappears. And he ended up
nasty.
Yeah. He had a clean inning. Ground out and 2 strikeouts in his debut, and he looked at all the bit of a closer that night. Like he just looked like he came in, he threw strikes, and he was dominant. So it was really great to see. The other important thing that happened in that game was Michael Lorenzen came in and pitched and got the save. So it was nice to see Lorenzen bounce back after his first relief outing where he got roughed up pretty good to come out and throw a clean inning there. So it was nice, 4-game sweep, and somewhere along those lines, I can't remember which game it was, the Phillies were actually responsible for eliminating the Mets from playoff contention. So not only did we sweep them, we put the final nail in the coffin on their $500 and something billion season, whatever the fuck they spent. And
Chris, what did you think about Sanchez's changeup? And what did you think about the slider from Kirkring? And why I asked that is because it reminds me of Hamel's Lidge.
Yeah, I was just going to say the same thing. I haven't seen a left-handed changeup like that since Hamels. I mean, that thing was just on off the table. And he was throwing in any count. He had complete confidence in it when he was behind the count or ahead in the count. I think all 10 strikeouts that he had that game were on the changeup.
Swing.
Yeah, yes. So he was, total confidence. The hitters, for whatever reason, they weren't picking up the spin. Which is great because you want your changeup to look just like your fastball, and just have a little something off it, enough movement that it keeps them off the barrel or swing and miss, which is what he got. And then Kirkring, I mean, they showed the one behind the plate, camera angle, and that thing must have moved 4 feet. Jesus Christ! You know, it was the last strikeout. He got it up underneath the guy's hands. Looked like it started on the outside corner, and it ended up under his hands. He couldn't even, swing at it. Where he started and where it ended was unbelievable. And if the kid can throw the ball like that, give you, they got a good one for a long time. I mean, he's only 22. I'm expecting him to be on this playoff roster, and I expect to see him get some big innings in the playoffs. So, 4-game sweep, eliminated the Mets. Got to see Kerkering's debut. So it was all in all, it was a great 4 games against the Mets. Really fun, really exciting. Then we moved into the Pirates, and while we're going, that Mets series, that Phillies magic number kept dwindling to clinch not only a playoff spot, but to clinch the number 1 seed in the wild card. So we had the opportunity, the first game of that series, to clinch everything. And our boy Nola, he went out there and pitched a pretty good game. 6 and 2/3, only 1 earned run. Did give up a home run to Reynolds, a long one. But other than that, he was on. He looked really, really good. It's like 2 or 3 starts in a row now. Nola's looked pretty good. Hopefully he's rounded into shape in time, because he is going to pitch game 2 in the playoffs.
But that fastball to left-handers, like, that Greg Maddux one where it looks like it's going to be inside and just scrapes the inside of the plate. Like, that's it. That's the one we need to see.
That's the key for him, because I think too many times in his starts he gets away from it. He starts getting curveball heavy or breaking ball heavy. He's got to stick with that fastball, because that sets everything else up. And I think hopefully these last couple starts he's been more going to that pitch more and more and more, and he's been more and more effective. So hopefully that goes back to being his go-to pitch for him. Also in that game, though, we had Kimbrel come in and give up another home run. I mean, he just continues to give up runs when he comes into games. And it was another home run, and that seems to be another issue. Is he's giving up the long ball along with walking guys. He's just right now, I think clinching with this many games left is probably the best for a guy like Kimbrel to just get away from a little bit. He's not going to be put in pressure situations. I'm sure they're going to try and get him an inning or 2 here or there just to try and get him right. But he's a guy I think that just needs to step away and get his mind right and then come back and hopefully be the Kimbrel we saw in the first half of the season and not the second half. But another one of John's guys in that game, Johan Rojas with the RBI single that walked us off. Pache scored, and the Phillies ended up winning that game and clinching, and then it was all hell broke loose, and with the partying in the locker room, and everybody having fun, and Chris climbing poles at Cottman and Frankfurt, right?
Yeah, like, what is it, like, everyone? Like, is it Cottman and Frankfurt or Frankfurt and Cottman? I don't know. Like, Chris and I and John are from the area. What do you guys say?
I say Frankfurt and Cottman.
Okay. Cottman and Frankfurt. I think Cottman's the main road, I would say. So, okay. Cottman and Frankfurt. But yeah, that's probably whatever. But it's the party spot when all of our sports teams do well. So that game 2 of that series, the hangover game, poor Ranger got that start again. And last year, if we remember, I think he gave up six earned runs in like 3 innings.
He got hammered last year.
Well, this start wasn't much better. He gave up 6 and 4 and 2/3. The Phils were down, 5-0 at one point. It kind of looked like that typical, we don't even give a shit, we're hungover. But I think that game showed Stubbs is like a superhero. That guy was so drunk the night before, and he comes back and hits a 3-run homer, So he's kind of like the DPF god, He's like our guy, Stubby.
Totally.
With a big 3-run homer, Sosa homer, Harper homer, and John's boy Kerkering gets his first major league win coming in. It was nice. He got himself into a little bit of a jam. He walked a guy, gave up a hit, but he came back with 2 Ks. Pitched out of it, which was nice to see. See him pitch out of a little bit of trouble and he can do it, and he didn't kind of fold under the pressure there. And then game 3 of that series last night, more kind of a keep Wheeler sharp type game. He only pitched 4 innings, 1 earned run. Strom struggled a little bit, giving up 2 earned runs in an inning. But again, Lorenzen came in and pitched 2 shutout innings. So hopefully maybe he's adjusting to this bullpen role and can be a guy that we can count on in the playoffs. We had a Schwarbaum and Turner with 2 doubles and 3 hits overall. So it was nice to see Turner start to get going again. But the biggest story of last night's game was Angel Hernandez. And I mean, I don't even think Harper moved, like his shoulder moved, like Angel Hernandez, every game he does seems to be he has to be the show. Something happens in every game that guy umpires. And last night was just ridiculous. Nice moment though. Harper tosses the helmet. He ends up signing it for the kid. So turn a negative into a positive. We're not really worried about the Phillies winning these games at this point. It's more about just guys staying sharp enough to be ready to roll into the playoffs. So win or lose wasn't really that important. Just trying to make sure nobody gets hurt and everybody stays sharp. So they end up taking 2 out of 3 from the Pirates, sweep the Mets. So really nice, 6 out of 7 homestand for the Phils heading into this last weekend against the Mets and then into the playoffs. But really nice homestand for the Phils.
Yeah. And yes. I was there last night, so I watched that thing with Harper, and I'm like, what the hell's going on? I seen him charging up the third base line. And I'm like, did he say he was out? I'm like, are you kidding? He say he went? And my mom don't know any. I was there with my mom. My mom don't know anything about baseball. She's like, well, if he's out, why is it at the home plate? Why is it that guy at third base is a job to say he's out? I said, because he's a fucking asshole.
Mom gets that.
That's all I had to say. She's like, I was like, that's it, Mom. That's it. Like, he barely even moved. Like,
it's horrible call.
And it's horrible that, remember, he was down, I think, to start the year until maybe after the All-Star break, if I'm not mistaken. He was down in the minors, and then I don't know why they brought him up. They should have just kept him down there.
Yeah, I know. I think I was reading somewhere where he was down there because he had back surgery, so he was kind of like, I guess, an umpire rehab assignment. He was down in the minors. Yeah, but yeah, he's terrible. Behind the plate, on the base. How can you screw up being the third base umpire? How many freaking calls a game do you have to make as the third base umpire?
I think unions are important and integral to the American society, right? But they're protecting the umpires union, protecting him because they can't fire him. Like, this dude is horrendous.
Yeah.
He is absolutely, brutal, terrible, not good. So I have a little bit of other news, and like the Angel Hernandez things comes into it. So it's like, this is like a good segue. So I was sitting here just, trying to get some beers in before the game, before the podcast, and I got a text. And this text is an important text, and I think everyone's going to like it, but you have to do something about what I'm going to tell you right now. It's not just like, hey, I have an announcement. So what happened was, I don't know if you know this, but we had a beer connection last playoffs with Von C. Their Von C Vienna Lager became a gold medal winner. So I got a text from Jay at Von C, and he wants to do this again. And the text was beautiful. It was literally minutes before we went on. And it basically said, you know what? We did this last year. They went far. Like, let's do it again this year. I'm superstitious, and I know you are. So you have to reach out to Von C and say, we want the 700 level lager. So it's, DPF approved. And I don't know if it's going to happen, but Jay Von C wants to do it. I'm interested. Chris, John, what do you think?
Yep. Oh yeah.
Hell yeah.
That was great last year, and we had the event at Von C and had some people come, and we're giving out our stickers and walking around. It was a great day, and it was great to be associated with Von C. It was excellent.
Also, it's a great tasting brew too.
It sure is.
It tastes great.
I mean, gold medal winning, and I want to give a couple shout outs. So, like, the guy that did this, did the logo, his name's Colin, and Colin is awesome. He does some logos, and he's an incredible artist. But like, this is him here. So like he's like, what do you want? And Chris and I talked to him and said, we want like a 700 level dude. and we want, he put a vendor in. So he actually like grabbed a what would look like a 70s vendor. We're looking at the 700 level of the vet. And it's going to be really difficult or impossible for you to see, but in Colin's hat, he has FAH, which is fuck Angel Hernandez. So he built that in as a little Easter egg. It would be in the new brew if they do it, but I think Von C wants to hear from everyone. So go on their page, comment to them, send a message, say we want 700 level lager. It's a Vienna lager, easy drinking. It got us to the World Series last year. Maybe it'll get us further this year. I don't know. But I just thought that was kind of awesome. It's not yet to be happened or signed, but it's possible. If you haven't had Von C, it's incredible. Go out and get any of their beer. They are the descendants of Schmidt's Brewery. So the people that are working there are related to them. So if your grandfather or your dad ever had Schmidt's, it's them who made it. And they actually have the Schmidt's recipe, and it's called the OG Pilsner, which is also incredible. All their stuff's good. It's a great time, like Chris said. We've been there tons of times. Great beer, awesome people. Maybe it'll happen, maybe it won't, but it's up to you at this point, is what kind of we're saying. I says, well, the people want it, let's do it. So
let's get some steam behind it.
Yeah, let's see what happens. Before we go to the next section, which we're gonna kind of like talk about the our DPF awards, I'm gonna do some comments because I see they're piling up. So I'm gonna kind of show these now. Josh, appreciate you always being on here. Let's go. Lead groundskeeper for Phil's. When I see like long words like that, and I've had a few, I'm like, all right, I have to like make sure I'm not like fucking this up.
I think that was Gabe.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. That makes sense. Thank you, Chris.
Yeah.
I thought it was a German word.
That's what I thought. I was like, Liebenskandkinder.
Yes. Lead groundskeeper.
Garrett, man, you are our dude. Fuck Angel Hernandez, no doubt. Max, also our dude. Fuck the Mets. Appreciate that. Donna, cat makes me sick. So it's funny, like, Donna, I think you're somewhere in the area. I'm not sure. I think you go to the Rooster. I think we may have been there at the same time. I have something special that you may not like from what I'm hearing. So this is like, and I don't know if you can see it, but it's Gabe's special coconut sauce. So it's a little bit of a spray, and you can just spray it on these things like this, and oh, that's nice. I'm going to tell you, that's nice. Gabe doesn't know coaching. Gabe does not know coaching. But
a little
man,
ripe.
Gabe knows coconut. That was fucking nice. You know what? I love that Gabe got fired with a couple games left. Like, that's the ultimate fuck you. We're not going to let you play out the string. Fuck you. You're terrible. Talking about analytics and all this bullshit. Get the fuck out of here. Love that. Donna again with a fuck Hernandez.
Did you see the thing with Gabe the other night with the real awkward pitching exchange where he was trying to make the pitching change and the pitcher was like knocking his hand down? Like, no, you're not like, that was so weird. Like, I don't think I've ever seen that with any other manager. Like, I've seen the pitcher like argue like he didn't want to come out of the game, but never like knocking his hand away and not like moving the ball so he couldn't take it. Like, that was really odd.
Yeah, I was just showing my wife the other day. I think it was the 76 or 77 playoffs, and it was Lasorda and Doug Rao is out there for the Dodgers. Doug Rao just gave up a home run to a right-hander, and he's right-handed. So Lasorda comes out, he's mic'd up, and he says, "Hey, Dougie, you're done. We're going to go to another righty." And he's like, Tommy, I'm feeling good. And Tommy, like, I love Tommy Lasorda. He's like, I don't give a fuck if feeling good. You just gave a fucking 500-foot bomb. Just give me the fucking ball and get in the fucking dugout. He's like, Tommy, I'm not leaving until, I think I'm okay. I can get this guy. He's like, this is my fucking job as a fucking manager. Get in the fucking dugout, stop making a fucking scene, and get the fuck out of here. So YouTube that. Tommy Lasorda and Doug Rao. I don't remember, but it was like late 70s. But
okay,
Chris, like,
yeah,
it's like,
I just watched that the other day. Yeah,
it's amazing, but
it's hilarious.
I maybe that's one of the things where like Gabe kind of like lost it, you know, and like if a guy's doing that, that's you don't have
they don't
respect
respect you.
dude.
Yeah, they don't respect you at all. Yeah.
I do follow him, or the Drunk Phil's fans Instagram follows him, and like I saw him and he was doing like a video the other day, and he's like, and it just made me insane. And I do hate him like really a lot. And he's sitting there with I think two other guys, and he's like, hey, you know, and he's like doing like the tough guy voice. Hey, I just want to be here with you and talk baseball and chop it up. Don't say chop it up. That's a fucking stupid term. As soon as he said that, I was like, fuck Tandick. You know, like, what am I supposed to do? Fuck Tandick. You know, as soon as you see
that's all you can do. That's all you can
do. Desmond, good evening, gentlemen. God bless. God bless you too, Desmond. I appreciate that. We need all the God we can get. Richard got a little LMAO. John, it was great to be at a few of the same games. Can't wait till Tuesday. We'll be in our section looking for you. Okay. So there you go, John. Josh, Coconut Commando. I've never felt so like free at a podcast right now. I mean, I'm sure everyone's glad that it's like just, you know, the top part, but man, this feels fucking good. I got to tell you, I feel a lot freer. I'm like, you know, saying what I want, and you know, the coconut, like,
I got to tell you, when we played the Giants a couple weeks ago, now I love the Tandick. That is awesome. But John put up a meme on the page that was the Forrest Gump meme, and he called him Lieutenant Tan instead of Lieutenant Dan. I fucking laughed my ass off at that meme, Lieutenant Tan. Like, that was fucking so funny. I mean, the Tandick jokes, the Kapler jokes could go on forever, but Lieutenant Tan was that was up there, John. That was a good one. That was a really good one.
That was excellent stuff. You guys are just killing it on the page with you know, and that's what we are, right? It's constant updates during the game, in the moment, funny things or things that we think are funny. And I'm glad you guys do too, because we're always laughing either at like our internal DPF admin group texts, or when someone else posts something. And there's been often times where two of us are kind of like posting the same thing, you know, one beats someone and I'm like, oh my God, like we're both thinking the same thing here. We're like share the same brain. It's amazing. A few more, we'll do 3 more, and then we're going to head to John, and he's going to give us his start off with the awards. So Nancy, our update from the minors made Orion's debut extra nice. I agree with that. And, you know, Chris already said it. John, great job. You identified this guy. You knew he was going to be one of the ones we had to look out for. He amazed all of us. And that special moment with Dad, you know, that's what baseball is. We haven't talked about that, but that's it. That moment there was everything to me personally. Because you think like, man, I'm never going to be there. But like my dad was there when I did certain things. And like, I'm sure he felt that way. And you felt that emotion. Me now as a dad, I was like, yeah, it's a pride thing. All of that work, all of that, you know, struggle putting into it. So that was a beautiful moment. And that's why I love baseball more than other sports. And I love other sports, but baseball it's different with me.
Yeah. And I was glad I was there. Like I thought I was his dad, because Mike put in the group chat. He's like, your boy. He's like, I don't know who's more excited for you, his dad or you, because I'm up there in the Hall of Fame club, only a couple sections away from like Dombrowski and them suite, and I'm like, yeah. I thought I had a tear in my eye. I'm like fist bumping. I'm like, yeah, and I was like, oh, hi. Dombrowski saw me and smiled, and I gave him a thumbs up. I'm like, thank you for bringing this kid here, you know. So it was great seeing it in person. Yeah.
Don. So Don is like one of the OG DPF guys. During the winter, we're playing Strat, not together, but we're playing it simultaneously. So Don's like one of my good guys that I always talk to throughout the winter, we're kind of hot stuving every day playing Stratomatic, and we'll get into what Stratomatic is probably another podcast, but it's another passion of mine. Kelly Lynn Combs. It's a new name to me, but Kelly, like, fuck the Mets and fuck Gabe. I love that. We love you, and anyone who says, all right. And another Chris. We got 3 Chris's here, all saying fuck the Mets. So I'm gonna pull this off and hide it. And John, we're gonna go to you. What's your DPF regular season awards?
Okay, I kind of got several, but I'm gonna just rattle them off real fast and not take up too much time. But I figured I'd make some up. I got the Fuck the Haters Award. That goes to Alec Boehm. Because all year long, I was exhausted, tired of hearing people shit on this kid. And all he did was hit. And all he did was work his ass off. And he's had a great year. And my preseason prediction of 25 homers and 100 RBIs, 90 RBIs, not far off. He passed the 90 RBIs. He's got 95. He's got 19 homers right now. I'll take that. I'll take that any year. He's gone far and above and beyond. I got the Belt of Orion Award for Kirkering. Just great, phenomenal year. I don't want to beat the bush about him. I've mentioned him we've mentioned him a couple times the last couple weeks. The Learn How to Bunt Award goes to the whole team, but specifically
that's
JT.
A great one. I love that. Yeah. Like, that's amazing. Except for Garrett Stubbs.
Yeah, except for Garrett. Garrett's cool. Garrett should actually teach the freaking class.
Yeah.
But especially JT, since I mentioned on a couple episodes ago, he only has 1 bunt in his career, and it was not here. I got the Luggage Award for Jake Cave. Fucking Packet. I got the cut. This is a good one, though. This is like actually sincere. This one, Comeback Player of the Year. Nicky 3 buttons, man. Like, can we give him a what a turnaround from last year, man.
And you know what's scary, John, about Nicky is his numbers are 30 homers, 100 plus RBIs, and he's had long stretches of not doing shit.
Terrible.
Especially like after the All-Star break. Could you imagine if he was consistent throughout the year? We might be talking 40 and 120.
Exactly.
If he was consistent, but he's had. I mean, compared to last year, it's night and day, and his defense in right field has been phenomenal. He's really improved as an outfielder and some big clutch hits. So hopefully, we're getting that Nick heading into the playoffs. But yeah, great one there. Comeback Player of the Year, definitely.
Yeah. And I got the Golden Meatball Award. That goes to our boy Nola. Keep serving them up, and we're going to be an early exit, pal. The Rosin Bag of Shit Award goes to Angel Hernandez. Well, because he's an asshole. There's nothing more to say.
Simple.
I got the K&A Award goes to Topper because I don't know what kind of meth he's on when he makes these lineups sometimes. And finally, my last award goes. It's the Waldo Award because where the fuck did we find Rodolfo Castro?
But we need to lose him again.
Yeah. You might need to throw him in a different puzzle there. What do you got, Dugan?
All right, so I put down 3. I came up with 3 awards. Probably could have came up with 100 more, but for the sake of time. So the first one I came up with was the We Not Me Award. And I'm giving that to Bryce Harper. Not only did he come back early from injury, probably about 2 months earlier than anyone expected, and kind of got right back in and started hitting. He wasn't hitting for power early in the season, but he was still hitting around 300. But he went to the team when, Hoskins got hurt and then Hall got hurt, and first base was a glaring hole on this team. And he went and said, hey, when I'm ready to play, I'll play first base. And he's taught himself to be a pretty damn good first baseman, which really solidified not only that position for the Phillies, but gave the Phillies an opportunity to make some changes out in the outfield that improved their overall defense. So to date, Harper's played 35 games at first base. He's had 273 chances with only 1 error. So that's a .996 fielding percentage. And that's coming out and doing something for the team that the team needed, and he could fill that role. So Bryce Harper, he just does it all for the Phillies, and this is another opportunity where he stepped up and filled a hole that they needed. I'm going to go back in time a little bit, and I'm going to give out the 1993 Kevin Stocker Award. If you remember the 93 Phillies, shortstop was a black hole for that team, and Stocker came up in July, and he ended up hitting about 324, played some solid defense, and helped that team through the postseason and into the World Series. And that's going to our guy, Johan Rojas. He kind of came up mid-July or early July. He's played 57 games, hitting 298, 22 RBIs, and 14 stolen bases. But more importantly, he's probably been the best center fielder the Phillies have had since Gary Maddox. The way he tracks a ball down out there. And his emergence, along with Harper playing first base, has allowed the Phillies to get Schwarber out of left field and put him in the DH role and have Marsh out in left or Cave. Either one of those guys, obviously Marsh, but even Cave is an upgrade defensively over Schwarber. So the entire team became better once Rojas got here, not only for what he brought to the team, but what they were able to do with the lineup once he was here. And he's a guy I think he needs to play every day in the playoffs. Right-handed pitcher, left-handed pitcher, whoever we're facing, Rojas needs to play. The kid's electric. He's exciting, and his defense speaks for itself. And the last award I came up with was the one man's trash is another man's treasure award. And that's going to my guy, Jeff Hoffman. Where would the Phillies be without Jeff Hoffman when you had Kimbrel struggling, Sir Anthony struggling, Alvarado has struggled, Soto has struggled? He seems to be the one mainstay in the bullpen that really hasn't struggled. And he's now getting bigger opportunities coming in later in games, more high leverage stuff. But in 53 games, Hoffman has thrown 52 innings. He's got a 5-2 record, 68 Ks, and a .923 whip for the Phillies. And this was a guy that he didn't have a home. He didn't have a team. He was a guy the Phillies brought in when Harper was rehabbing to have Harper face live pitching. And that's how the reason they brought Hoffman in. And they were so impressed with how he threw in those simulated games to Harper, he ended up getting a contract, and now he's one of our most reliable guys. So, one man's trash is another man's treasure, and I'm happy to have Jeff Hoffman. So those are my three. Chris, what do you got?
Jesus, man, this is tough. I hate going last here because you guys did such an awesome job. So my first award, I'm calling it the Zero Fucks Award. It was tough. I put the votes out there. I had to recount them a few times because there's two guys that are like right up there with zero fucks. It was Ranger and Nick. Ranger, like I'm not sure he has a pulse sometimes when a ball's hit back to him because he's kind of like reading, the words on it, counting the stitches, and then he throws it over to first. And then Nick, the epitome of Nick was like, T-Mac asked him the question the other day, and he's like, hey, Nick, what did you learn from this year? It's a terrible question because, like, that Nick's going to be like, I'm going to say something terrible here. And he says absolutely nothing. And for that, it was so close. At the very end, Nick Castellanos won the Zero Fucks Award. I think he cares, but it seems like he doesn't care in some ways, and he has this nonchalant. So I love that about him.
He probably don't care about the award either.
No, he doesn't. He. I asked him to be here to accept it. He's like, you just take it or whatever. And I was like, all right, that's fine, Nick. Just unbutton 3 buttons, and because I asked him, I says, can I do 4? And he's like, dude, if I were you, I wouldn't do 1, but like that's you. Like, do what you need to do. I get it. So I appreciate the honesty. The next award is the Bluto Blutarski Award. If you're not familiar with Bluto Blutarski, he is from, National Lampoon's, National Lampoon, right? So it was John Belushi, and he's like in college. He's like a 15th year senior. And he's like the party guy. He's like the guy that makes things happen. You're not really sure why he's there. He has a purpose, but it's so minimal. But he's pumping everyone else up. He's having a good time. He's playing music. Garrett Stubbs. You know what? And Garrett Stubbs almost won the Givenchy or the Calvin Klein Award because, like, I couldn't do it. and I maybe John
the Dixie
could.
Midnight Runner, Dixie's Midnight Runner Award.
I can't do it. I would love to do it because like I saw a couple of the pictures of him. Like, yo, this dude's like 5'6", but he's fucking ripped. And I'm like, man, I would love to wear like a hillbilly outfit like that, but it's not going to work. I'd have to wear the long T-shirt or the wife beater. I think that would be good. Like, but Blutarski went to Garrett Stubbs. My next award is the Cookie Rojas Award, and this one's like going back. So, like anyone who knows, like Cookie Rojas was a player for the Phillies for a long time through the 60s and early 70s. At one time, he played every position. He played all 9. There wasn't 10 with the DH before. So I'm going to reach back, someone who's still on the 40 that wasn't mentioned, and I'm going to give it to Cody Clemens. 4 pitching appearances. He played first base, shortstop, right field, and DH. That's 5 positions. Like, he gets the Cookie Rojas Award. And the final one is we were all wrong. We were all wrong. And that, again, this one goes to Jeff Hoffman. We were all wrong about this dude.
Yeah.
Low blood pressure and, wanting to go underneath the bar here to drink different drinks when any other pitcher is in is escalated. Hoffman comes in and I'm like, hey, you know what? Maybe this one's enough. Like, maybe I'm good for this one. Like, he's in the 6th and the 7th. I got a little bit left. I'm good. Jeff Hoffman surprised all of us. Chris, you said it before, and I'm going to echo it again. We were all wrong about Jeff Hoffman. No doubt about that. So hope you like those awards. Before we go to a next segment, we're going to kind of talk about, like, what are we doing for the playoffs? Are we going to games? Where are we watching? What are you thinking? I'm going to go to a few more of the comments here, but before that, I'm going to have a little sip here. Who's going to be our number 3 starter in the playoffs? So I'm going to pass this to Dugan, but first I'm going to say our number 3 starter is going to be our number 1 starter in the NLDS.
Boom. That's what I'm hoping too. I think we win 2, and then we worry about who's pitching that next game. But I think the way it lines up, I think it's going to be Ranger.
Strider Ranger.
Yeah, I think it's going to be Ranger throwing that game. And unfortunately, it's not in Philadelphia because of the Strider's comments about not liking crowd noise, because we would have blown him right out of the stadium with our fans. But I think Ranger's going to be the number 3.
Yep. All right. So Kelly, definitely don't trust Kimbrel in the playoffs. Man, that's so tough, right? Because you can't leave this dude off. He got us here, but like I am worried about this guy. And I think if the 9th inning is right-handed heavy, Kimbrel's coming in. If it's left-handed heavy or even a lefty in there, I think Alvarado's coming in. Do you guys disagree with that?
No, I agree. I think Alvarado might be the
that's
closer.
How they're doing it.
I think Alvarado might be the closer regardless.
Okay. And yeah. I'm good with that. Storm, hello, fellas. Joe, who's this, John?
Oh, that's
Jim Brown from Kentucky. Worried about
that's my Uncle Jim. He lives in Kentucky.
Oh, that's awesome.
I guess they're worried about Kimbrel.
Okay. We're all worried about him. Our boy. Well, you know what? It's funny because like he's our boy, me and Dugan, because we grew up together with Mike. But me, John, and Mike also have a close connection because we all went to Roman Catholic High School. So Bryce 928, are you fucking kidding me? It wasn't even close. What did he sign there? Like, because it didn't look like Luke. I know everyone's saying that, but I'm not buying it at all. Has anyone heard that from him?
I didn't catch it. I didn't see what it said.
I've seen people say that that's what he normally signs, is that the Luke passage. So I'm assuming it's that. But I do like the Walk's suggestion there, the Bible according to Bryce. Are you fucking kidding me? It wasn't even close. The Bryce edition.
he's got to set them up with it. Curveball cannot be the opening pitch that often. Yet if he's trying to get it off guards. Yeah, like I agree with that. We were talking about that before. Mike again called the shit show. Let's see if we got anyone new. Rob Thompson, manager of the year. I don't think he's in the top 20. Honestly, that's just my opinion. I don't think Rob Thompson. I think this is one of those things where, like, hey, we like Charlie Manuel, but like, you got a great team. Just fucking set the lineup properly. Like, what is he really doing? The only thing that Topper does is fuck up the bullpen. That's it. Like, because I don't think he's doing much otherwise, but I don't even consider him in the top 20. John?
Yeah, I think I don't consider him either. I think the guy from Arizona might be the front runner. Or if the Marlins sneak in, the Marlins manager has a shot at getting it. But I like Arizona. I mean, that's a team that, kind of came out of nowhere. So and played good baseball most of the season, and now look like they're going to be a wild card team.
So, John, I think your dad's a little upset you took your mom to the game.
Oh, yeah.
we got a little bit of a problem. Like, yo.
Now, real quick, I'm going to take you to a real quick story from years ago. I make a little better money now, but back in the day, I could afford the 400s, and, that's all I could afford. So I took my dad to a game, and I had no clue. We were right behind the fucking the foul pole, and he's like, "Oh, these are phenomenal seats, son." He was breaking my fucking balls. Like, we were like, no, I'm serious. Like, we were right behind the foul pole, like not the net, not the other side of it. And we were like, so he's like, oh, maybe a little closer to the action next time. But we haven't been to a game in a while. But, now I'm not climbing up there anymore. John Kruk's in the premium age now, 200s, 100s. But, he goes down the shore every summer. So I'm like, you got to let me know. We were laughing last night, texting. I said, you got to let me know when you're up, or before you go down, I'll get us Hall of Fame or 200 or 100. But, that was some little ball breaking by Pops. Love you, Dad.
That's good stuff. Tasha, so goddamn, this like DPF garage party, I wanted no one to win more than Tasha, because she was like, I'll come there. I think you live in Virginia or somewhere not in PA. She's basically saying he needs vision surgery. I'm assuming this is Angel Hernandez. I think he needs more than that. I think he, and I wonder, I don't know how tall he is, but to me, he's like this short guy that has that, like, that Napoleon complex.
Hey, I put out on the issue. Page. I put out on the page that he needs a standing ovation. Maybe that'll straighten him out. Like
I saw that.
Turner.
I was cracking up. You know what? There should be a new saying. Remember from It's a Wonderful Life? Every time a bell rings, an angel gets his wings. Yeah. Every time a bell rings, Angel fucking blows.
He misses a call.
Yeah, ring the bell, though.
All right, guys, I think we can help Jordan here. He's going to be in Philly next week. And, on Wednesday, he's trying to convince his wife to let him go to game 2. Mrs. Brown, what's the question about this? The Phillies have played 139 seasons and made the playoffs 16 times. Let Jordan go. Chris.
Yeah,
talk to Mrs. Brown.
Mrs. Brown, Chris and I went to probably 5 or 6 games last year during that playoff run, and it was the greatest time of my life. Phillies fans are the best. It was nothing but love down there. A love fest. Everybody high-fiving, drinking, having a good time. Don't let Jordan miss this opportunity. It's once in a lifetime. Like Chris said, it doesn't happen often with the Phillies. Enjoy it while you can.
Exactly.
John, speak to the camera.
Yeah, exactly. You have to go. Last year was my first playoff games ever. I went to the first round versus Atlanta. If you heard the game on Fox that day, I was one of the ones screaming DUI every time Ozuna was up.
Yeah.
We were right behind home plate on the concourse. I had the full costume on. We're like, DUI. All my friends are like, dude, is that you guys? Like, I hear you. I'm like, yeah, I'm needing that pack. But and then I went to a game the next round, and then I secured free tickets to the World Series. through like a follower of mine on Twitter, and I ran into her at the game last night. I'm still thanking her till this day. She worked in
awesome.
The ticket office and gave me free tickets, but you have to go. And I would bring 2 things with you. I would buy her a jersey, or maybe bring divorce papers. No, I'm just kidding. But please, let them go. It's a phenomenal time. There's nothing like it. You actually feel the concrete under the seats rocking when you're there during the playoffs. There's nothing like it.
We're going to do 3 more comments until we kind of go into the last piece. So Harry was supposed to go to City tonight, but now I have to wait till next spring. As always, fuck the Mutts. You know what? That place is a piece of shit. John and I were there. Was it 2 years ago? City together. Yep. It's an absolute piece of shit. Be thankful that Mother Nature, derailed that, Harry. It's a terrible place. It's not fun. It's, around it, it's kind of like, I don't know, Harry, where you're from, but to me, Citibank Field feels like you're at Richmond and Wingahocken. There's like the shit pit, and then there's like all these like used car like junkyards. It's just, and then there's like a highway going over it. It's a fucking disaster.
Yeah, it's like, and then like the L stop, it looks like Bridge of Pratt's right there.
Yeah. It's the old like, Bridge and Pratt, like the 80s.
The old crusty green peel and paint Bridge of Pratt.
Fucking rusty. It's terrible.
With Tate's hot dogs there. And it's also, there's like, if you need any car parts, there's like 20 chop shops right across the street.
All around it. Mike, I saw all these fucks come up, and man, this speaks to me. Fuck Tandick, fuck the Mets, fuck Joe Carter, fuck Scott Rowland. And let's go, Phils. Got to stay hot and keep rolling in October. Mike, appreciate your support. Love all the fucks. It really speaks to us. And then we did have a couple of comments that I wanted to get to. And these are, to me, it's an important one. Because Sig, who's like a big DPF guy, is like all of our personal friends. John knows him. Dugan knows him. Yep. He's asking this particular question. Aside from drinking, what do other DPFers do when their old lady or man are away and they have 0 responsibilities? So I'm going to take the first, swing at this. Never say old lady like on social media. That's never a good thing. Post that. What else do I like to do? I honestly, like, I'm trying to go grow the grass out here. So I'm like out there picking leaves up, putting fertilizer down. I think like my little patch of grass outside of DPF garage is like fucking Citizens Bank Park. But that's kind of like what I'm thinking. Dugan, what kind of like words of wisdom do you have for Sig?
Yeah, old lady. Yeah, Sig bad. That's a bad one. Apologize to Alex right now immediately. But I'm more of a take advantage when she's not there to like watch. If I'm not watching sports, which I watch, all the time, I'll watch like a movie or a TV show that's something that she won't, that I'm interested in that she might not be when she's not around, or I'll just freaking sleep because I don't get enough of that normally. So I'm not.
So Chris, I know that you used my Netflix account. Have you caught up on Virgin River?
Oh yeah. I'm all over that. I don't even know what the fuck that is, but sure. I'm sure it's something fucking something Tandick would watch, I'm sure.
Yeah, it's gonna touch your heart, man.
Yeah. Sure. And touch other areas. You got some oil.
Yeah. Give me some of that coconut oil.
Yeah, lather up a little bit.
Circular motion.
Let the river flow, baby.
I'm gonna go out and suntan my ball bag too. Let's go.
Jesus. What do you do, John? Where are you at with us?
Well, I don't have a lady right now. I'm probably not the best. The best to ask.
What?
What do you do otherwise? Like, if you're not DPFing, what do you do? Like, well, you know what? Hold on a second.
Wait.
I'm going to what?
If I'm not
John's
DPFing,
single. John's single. John's interested. John's a very nice guy. You know what? Like, give John a chance. Let's there's a lot of DPF ladies out there. Like, give John a chance. He loves baseball. If you love baseball, you have something in common immediately. You know what? Just DM the page and say, hey, John, and just send the number. I promise I won't send a picture of myself in these at all. I will not do that. But John, like, what do you do otherwise? Like, if a Phil's game isn't on tonight when you're done, like, what are you looking to do?
Phillies, I actually, well, you guys know this. When the Phils aren't on, or if they're on earlier or whatever, well, I can't do it tonight, obviously, because their seasons are over. But I usually like to stay sharp and like stay tuned in on the younger guys. I usually catch whatever minor league games on of the Phils, or if there's like 2 or 3 on at once, I try to catch. All right, well, who's pitching? Oh, Abel's pitching for the, Lehigh, or Kirk Rings down on Blue Calls, whatever. I try to catch a minor league game. If I can't catch a minor league game, I'll catch, like a team I like watching. Like I'll catch the Orioles, or maybe someone in the division that's, something that's a game of importance. But it's usually baseball. Like if the Phillies aren't on, I got to watch another game somehow. Or, if there's absolutely nothing on, if the Union are on, I just started getting into that. But
don't say the Union or nothing.
No, I just said if nothing else if there's no baseball on, like I'll watch the Union, or sometimes I'll have both on. But and as far as thank you for the plug there, and I also gotta say for the ladies, let's make it a Joel in October.
My wife just texted me and asked if this is DPF mingle.
that we could do like a DPF Tinder.
And if you wanna subscribe to my OnlyFans, I'll be at Home Depot tomorrow in the fan section.
I'm gonna send these over to John, and it's gonna be on his OnlyFans. He's gonna have these. They're size small, but they were for me. You might need a large. I don't know, John, but all right, so DPF Awards might be your best work yet. Andrew, thank you. We appreciate that. We all work hard at this and take it seriously, so I like that. And then John Paul Valinsky, you got to believe. Absolutely. So we're coming up towards the end of the show. Like, Chris, what are your plans for the playoffs? And when I say playoffs, like we're just, we're doing a Monday show. So let's just talk about, like, what are your plans for Tuesday, Wednesday?
Yeah, right now.
We're not Thursday.
I got you. Right now, I don't have any plans to go to either one of these games. I've had the opportunity, but some of you may know my daughter's getting married this weekend, so I'm kind of tied up with that tomorrow. It's exciting and fun, so going to unwind and watch those games, and if maybe catch them at the garage with you if you're around, or I'll be home in my man cave down here watching the games, rooting the Phils on. Cool. But I got a guy, if I wanted to go to the games, I got a guy that I know I can get in anytime I want. So we'll see. Maybe I'll sneak down there for one of those 2 games if the mood strikes me right. So, but right now I'm just looking forward to winning game 1, winning game 2, and then beating the fuck out of the Braves. What do you got, John? What's your plans?
I have tickets to game 3, and when I
hope you don't get to use them.
So do I. That's what I was about to say. I'm looking at the prices. I went on Game Time, and I saw the prices at the time. I got them like a week ago, and they were pretty good prices. I'm like, ooh, that's not bad seats. I'm row 1 under this big scoreboard, upper deck, in case someone hits one up there. Can't beat it. I'm going to be wearing a full costume. I'm hoping we get the first two too, so that way that I could use that money for a credit for the next round. But but also Nola's pitching game 2, so we'll see. But yeah, that's what I plan on doing for game 3 if necessary. But yeah, like you said, if the garage is open, I'll come over and watch a couple games with you guys and hope we take the first 2.
All right, so I'm going to first say that the garage is open to DPF always, especially like Tuesday and Wednesday. the next thing I'm going to say is like, we had the opportunity. Chris sent me an opportunity, and Sig said, we have tickets to game 3. And I'm like, I'm not doing it. I'm not fucking going. Like, there is no game 3. Buying a ticket to game 3, like, I just couldn't do it. I feel superstition. And I know a guy who knows a guy who could maybe get us in. And that's my guy is like Dugan. He knows someone who knows someone.
This guy over here.
I don't know him, but I know him through knowing him.
Hey, there's the place there.
So,
get you right in.
Maybe I will. I respect every playoff moment that we have. I know it doesn't come along all the time. I know there's no guarantee that we're going to go and play the Braves. I feel like we will. But I would love to go. So if someone has a single ticket and wants to, offer it up, I'll pay for whatever it is. More of like the actual price. I'd like to say if you have 3, I want my guys to go, Dugan and John. If you have more than that, I think, Mike and the Butch I would like to go too. But my plan is to like do it here. I've watched, I don't know, 159 games here,
Right.
Minus the games that I went to see. Like, to me, this is like a special place, and I would love to share it with like these guys if we're not going, and maybe a few other select people. So send us a message and say like, here's where I think I should come and watch it with you, and maybe we'll do it. But that's kind of where I am. I want to go through next, and before we end, Chris, who do you want to play in the first round?
In the first round, tough one. I'm a little worried about the way Arizona's set up right now. If they clinch early, because they will be able to line up Gallon and Merrill Kelly for games 1 and 2. But I think if I had my pick, it would be the Cubs. I think we match up well against the Cubs. Marlins are always a thorn in our side, and Arizona's pitching's a little better than the other 2 teams. So if I had my pick, it would be the Cubs.
Cool. John?
I'm kind of with Dugan on the Cubs, but there's an old saying, to be the best, you got to beat the best. Bring on the D-backs. I'm not scared. I understand with the Gallon and the Merrill Kelly, but bring on whoever. This is our house. Like the advertisement said, this is our house. Let's go.
Yeah.
I like it.
I want to play the Marlins. I want to exercise that demon. And there's another reason, because the Marlins have 3 left-handed relievers. Cave isn't going to be on the roster if we play there, and I'd like him off of it. So for that reason,
yes,
I think it's important to like play the Marlins and exercise that demon, not have a Cave there. And I don't know, maybe it's not Clemens, but it's Wilson, who is like a guy that I like and I just like want to root for. But I'd like to play them. And, I'd like to, we're not going to talk about the next, but, here we are. And I don't disagree. So I think we went with, different viewpoints of why or who we want to play. And it's cool with 3 games left. We have no idea. We're going on an hour here. I'm going to take 3 more comments randomly, and then we're going to do the sign off. Wow. So my wife said, this is like a super surprise. Like, I did something good. I was like, wow. I saw her on there, and she's like, how many of you had? It wasn't any of that. Like, how long are you going to be out there? Like, the fucking garage again? She's saying good advice, and I assume this is like to Sig, like, don't call her old lady. Renee is a young, beautiful, vibrant, excellent wife. And that's always what you say.
She might have got excited when you took those little that little thumb off there too, Chris. You never know.
No, I think she vomited. Like, she definitely got disgusted over that. She's like, it's sitting on the bar right now. Like, it's terrible. Like, but oh my God, they do smell so good. They really do smell so good. Oh wait, hold on a second. Like, wait, I don't want to not do chains, guy. They make into game 3. No, I let's not even talk about that.
Is that Philly? That's Philly chains guy.
Yeah, he's the guy that did that meme that you posted. So
yeah,
appreciate you doing that. That's good.
That's
shit,
a cool
man.
dude. Yeah, he's a cool dude. I'll be at game 3 if necessary, chains guy. We'll talk.
It's not as good as our stuff with my man Dugan, but like or Joe, John, but the shit was really good. So you get your props for that. Wow, we got it. Mara, love Mara. DPFmingle.com. So like this is like Christian Mingle, but you gotta love baseball
and beer.
Or like, well, yeah, just like Dugan said, instead of farmers only or whatever, I'm like drinkers only.
Jesus, like this is like terrible. We're gonna end with this because I said 3. Like Sig says, the old lady says you guys are boring. I don't think the old lady said that at all because I think Alex likes each of us, and you're a little jealous, Sig.
Yeah,
that's what it is because we're
I agree.
Alex is a young, vibrant lady, and I get it. But Sig, thanks for tuning in. I hope you and Boomer enjoyed the show. I want to give each of us today a chance to do a fuck the. So, John, who do you have on our sign off?
Fuck Angel Hernandez.
Okay. Chris?
Fuck our next opponent, whoever it is.
Love that. And you know what? I'm going to like not do the FSR, which I want to do, but it's still we're playing the Mets, and I still want to beat them. I don't give a shit if we win or lose, kind of, but I want to beat them because it's just nice to fuck the Mets. So thanks for tuning in. I know it's a Friday night, no Phil's game. We're going to be on Monday doing like a playoff preview or more of a wild card preview. So thanks for everyone for tuning in. John and Dugan, great job tonight, and go Phils.
Go Phils.